Hello children, it's Mr. Farrier here. The first thing to say is Happy New Year to you. In January we often think about what we're going to do to improve ourselves, to try and do things better. It's a very unusual start of the term. We did not expect just to be open to those parents or the critical workers, but unfortunately we've had to have a lockdown at school, and we really hope you're doing well and hope you're engaging in the tapestry or the Showbie work that your teachers are putting online for you to work at home. So really, carry on with your learning. It's really, really important to do that. If you need any help, please speak to your teachers. Your parents will be given an email of your class teacher, so you can always contact them if there's any concerns at all with the remote learning or how you're getting on being at home. So with my assembly, there's an unusual figure here, and some of you may already have worked out what that figure is, what that image is about. And I can give you a clue. It's a Roman god. It's where we get January from. You've probably already guessed the name of this Roman god. If you don't know who it is, the name of the Roman god is Janus. Now Janus, as you can see, a very unusual image there, because not only does the figure have two eyes, two sets of eyes at either end, it's got two faces as well. So you often have that expression with eyes in the back of your head, and often teachers have eyes in the back of the head so they can see what's going on in their classrooms. Well, this has two faces. The belief is that Janus is the god that can see backwards and forwards at the same time. And that's where we get our reflective New Year's resolution from. We're looking back at the previous year, the previous time, and think of things that went well, things that didn't go so well. And we look forward to the new year to see whether we can improve things that didn't go so well last year for this year. We all hope it's going to be a better year this year. We hope there's a vaccination ready and rolled out. So that's something that we can hope for in the very near future, and hope to get our schools back to being fully open again, hopefully very soon. Sometimes Janus is referred to as the god of doorways, and I've just put some images of different doorways here for you. Now, I'm not sure whether you can recognise that doorway. It doesn't look like a doorway, but it is a doorway. So this first image is the doorway in the first Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and it's the doorway of the Gringotts vault, where they keep all the money and the treasures behind. So you may have recognised that one. See if you can guess the second doorway. The second doorway is also from Harry Potter. Those of you Harry Potter fans will probably be excited to see that image. And that's the Great Hall, the doorway to the Great Hall. Wonder if you can guess the third doorway. The third doorway you probably, or you may have seen on television, or you may have actually been there yourself outside. And I look, this is number 10 Downing Street, and it's a famous place because that's where the Prime Minister lives. So Boris Johnson at the moment lives at number 10 Downing Street. So we wonder what goes on in that doorway. This is my favourite one, if I'm being honest. I'm a real fan of J.R.R. Tolkien, who was the author of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And this is a little Hobbit home in Bag End, and this is exciting because it's a very small tunnel of a doorway, and those of you who may have seen the film or read the book will know there's lots of exciting things inside there. Now these next doorways, they are real doorways, and it enables you to use your imagination to find out what is perhaps behind that doorway. So I want you to stop and think a little bit about that. It's quite exciting. It's all covered in moss and green and leaves and flowers and things, and it's quite exciting because you're often left thinking, well, I wonder what's behind that doorway. I know my daughter, who's in year 2, she will be excited to find out what's behind the doorway. She likes secretive things like that. So it's good to think about what could lie behind that doorway. The next doorway, another very unusual doorway. It's almost, it is at a slant, isn't it? And it's very interesting, and you're left with that word curiosity. I'm curious to know what's behind that doorway, what's in that building, what's behind there. So it's a very unusual doorway. Here's another doorway. It's really, really small. And you may imagine, are there small beings in there, creatures or, you know, fairies or something in that doorway that can go through that doorway? And what is on the other side is another question, isn't it? Another type of door, it's a safe, and in that safe we often keep valuable things or treasures or something that's really, really important. And again, it gets you to think about what could be behind that doorway, that safe. So just to recap with the doorways, Janus, the god of doorways, or the god of looking forwards and backwards, is where we get January from, because we're often looking ahead and we often make what's called New Year's resolutions. And New Year's resolutions are really things that we want to change to improve ourselves or to do better at. So I remember a number of years ago now, I had an assembly and I talked about this, and one of my New Year's resolutions was to stop having sugar in my tea. And the hard thing is to continue doing that. But I managed to do it, and now I do not have any sugar in my tea. And that had a very positive consequence for me. I was a lot healthier, my teeth were better, didn't have so many fillings after that, and I lost a little bit of weight because I didn't have so much sugar, which sugar can sometimes make you put on a bit of weight, and I didn't want to put on weight as I'm getting older, and that really helped me. So that was the thing that I decided to do that was beneficial to me. I will let you on a little secret. I do have a little bit of sugar in my coffee. I wasn't brave enough to stop having sugar in my coffee, but we've got to start somewhere. But you might think about what your New Year's resolutions might be, and it's never too late to start. You know, ideally you'd start on the 1st of January, but we're on the 8th of January now. You can think about what you're going to do. It's going to be better for you this time. It might be you're going to show a bit of kindness to somebody every day, or do a kind act every day. That would be a really good resolution. Or you could say, well, I'm going to tidy my room every day or 3 times a week so that it looks really, really tidy. And that would be something which would help my parents, for instance, and help me find things when I'm in my room and that sort of thing. Let's think what else you could say. Well, you could say, I'm going to stop biting my nails. I used to bite my nails when I was a child. In fact, I did it when I was a lot older as well. I do no longer bite my nails, but I'm not sure whether that was a resolution or whether I just decided one time just to not bite my nails anymore. But think about things that you can do that's positive, that you want to do, that's perhaps a bit of a challenge for you, that's perhaps not very easy, but try and stick at it. And if you don't always manage to keep it going, you can always reset that and start again. It's never too late to start again and try and do that. Exercise is a good one. It's always good to think about what can I do for exercise, maybe every day or every week or something. You might want to set yourself some goals. My last slide is really to link this into our value, what we value as a school, and that is the value of courage. And courage is about being brave. And we have courage sometimes when we want to try something new. You do have to have courage to try something new, because you can have a fear that you're going to fail at something, or fear you're going to get it wrong, or you fear you're going to not quite manage to achieve something. Sometimes you have to have the courage to have a go in the first place. So courage is linked to trying something new for the first time, trying something you're not sure about, but having a go at something. So do you have the courage and the bravery to do that? Second point is, do you have the courage to challenge yourself so that you can be the best that you can be? So it does take a bit of courage and bravery to try and do something that's going to be better for you or somebody else. Start a New Year's resolution to make things better for you and others. So I've already mentioned that. Think about what you can do. I would suggest at the end of this assembly you might want to write a list of things you want to try and do and see whether you can stick to that. Perhaps show your parents or your teachers if you're in school and say, is this a good resolution? Do you think I can stick to this? You know, it's going to need a bit of courage to stick to that. And sometimes you need courage to do the right thing, because sometimes we don't always make the right choices, or we don't always do the right thing. But sometimes you have to have the courage and bravery to do the right thing sometimes. Now, with your home learning, those of you that are home learning at home using the remote learning ideas we've got from Shobi or Tapestry, there'll be some things on there which might be a challenge for you. But you do have help. You have your parents and you have your teachers that can help you understand the tasks you're asked to do. It's really important you have the courage to try and work things out, use your initiative, use the people around you, use your teachers, but you have to have the courage and the bravery to try something which might be a bit tricky, and that will help you move forward, it'll help you learn. We really want you to carry on learning. It's really, really important for us. Reading is crucial. If you could read every day, that would be fantastic. And have the courage to do that. Now, to end my assembly, I'd like you to be brave and show courage this term by challenging yourself to try something new or different that will be a positive thing for you and perhaps your family and the people around you. Think of this new challenge as a doorway. It may be a bit scary because you don't quite know what's behind the door, but it can also be a bit exciting and feel good once you go through to the other side. I thought it might be quite nice to end on a short song that I've written based on this term's value of courage. Now, my voice is nowhere near as good as Mrs. Danvers's, so please excuse the singing. Take care, everyone. Mistakes is part of the game, so learn new